Hey guys, so over the last couple of months I've been doing a number of workshops up and down the country for various schools and youth groups, and I often get asked a lot of questions that are very similar at all of these events. So I just thought I'd answer some of the most popular ones in a quick video, and then I can forward this going forward and hopefully be of use to anyone who's interested in beatboxing or wants to get involved, and I could tell you a bit about my experience and how I got involved with all of these things. So cool, let's have a look at the first question. So I didn't learn from any one person in particular. I first came across beatboxing when I was 18, 19 years old. I joined an a cappella group at university called Out of the Blue, you should go and check out. And they would often have a vocal percussionist with some of their covers. And the problem with it is that rather than kind of beatboxes, into a microphone, we often did acoustic gigs. So the problem wasn't kind of getting anything fast or technical, it was just being heard over 13 or 14 other singers. So all you cared about was volume, which is so it was good fun, but it was often quite tiring and not really what we'd associate with kind of proper beatboxing. But then, fast forward a couple of years, I did a workshop with a guy called Jez Sadler with the Voice Festival UK. And that was my first kind of real insight into proper beatboxing. I watched a few videos, I knew what it was by that point, but that was the first time where I went to a workshop where someone could actually teach me. We did some very simple things. I think my favourite one I learned that one was the vocal scratch. And we did some lip bass as well. But and I think that was what first gave me the bug to learn more. But really, the place where you learn the most is at any beatbox event. Any event where you can find beatboxers, you'll find people swapping, learning sounds. That's what people live for in this genre, is to constantly expand the array of sounds that they can produce. And these events, the learning curve is steep, but you will come away knowing so much more than you went in with. I went to the UK Champs the first time when I was 2014. In 2014, and I knew nobody there. And there were a couple of guys, you know who you are, Tangent, Hand, Mr. Formula, Dean. That found out I was from Swansea, and they just adopted me like a brother for the rest of the day. And that was it. And I learned so much that day just by being involved in the scene, just by listening to the people around me, and meeting complete strangers and going, hey, that sounds cool, like how do I do that? And it's so much better than watching any kind of YouTube tutorial. There are some great ones out there, don't get me wrong, but when you're actually working with a person and seeing and doing what they do, get them to try and explain what they're doing with their throat, their lips, their mouth, it's honestly the best way of learning, and it's a lot of fun as well. So yeah, that's where I picked up most of my sounds, was just being at these events and meeting complete strangers and chatting with them. Did I learn a lot from tutorials? So yes and no. I think tutorials are great, and there are some sounds where if I'm really trying to work on something, I'll try and find as many tutorials as I can, see how different people do different sounds and try and work on things. But what it gives you a warped sense of, I've always found, is that everybody can do every sound, and it's just not true. Your mouth will find some sounds easier than others, and there are some sounds which, by sheer biology, you probably just won't be able to pull off, at least in the way that they're doing it in their tutorial. But there are some great ones out there, and I highly recommend checking out some of them. I like particularly watching Darnies. I find them extremely entertaining. How old was I when I started? So, as I said before, I was 18, 19 before I even knew what beatboxing was. And it wasn't until my workshop with Jez when I was 21 that I really started to get involved in beatboxing. But I mean, I've known people that have started at the age of 11, 12, who've got a good 10 years on me. And I've known people that have started at the age of 25 and still find the same enjoyment and still come up to the same level within a short period. It's all a matter of just how committed you are to it. And as with anything, the more you practice, the better you get at it. How long did it take me to learn how to beatbox? So this is a classic question I get asked literally all the time at any of my workshops. And the honest answer is, I'm still learning. I think every beatboxer you would ask out there would say that they are still learning beatboxing. The beauty of it is there is such a vast array of sounds that you can do with your mouth, and there are so many people working on it and creating new things as well, that you'll never reach the end. That's the beauty of it. It's the journey, not the destination. But from what I would say is that, especially from anybody watching this who's done one of my workshops, one of the standard beats we do is... and by the end of that workshop, from the ages of 6 to 60, I've had people doing that beat by the end of it, and that's what I would consider beatboxing. That's the start of your journey. So really, to learn how to do a beat, you can do within a single workshop or a single tutorial, and then that will start you on your magical beatbox journey. So I tend to get asked this question a lot by teachers and youth workers. What advice would I give to young aspiring beatboxers? I would say the first one is stick with it. If you enjoy it and it's something that you're into, then keep trying new sounds, keep learning new things, and ignore anyone who tells you that you shouldn't be doing it because it's cool or it's not the done thing, or I don't know. There are a whole host of reasons that people can give you hate for things like this. If you enjoy it, stick with it. I know so many people when I was younger who got peer pressured out of learning an instrument or being involved in dramas and musicals and things. And it's really horrible to see these people when they're grown up and they look back and go, damn, you know, I really wish that I stuck with it and just ignored people telling me what I should and shouldn't do. And this is the same, you know, when I first started putting videos out online, I would get people telling me that they're rubbish and that I should stop what I'm doing because it's, I'm not going to swear on this video in case kids are watching, but yeah, I got some real hate for something I just put online because I wanted to share it and it was something that I enjoyed. And there can be a lot of horrible negative comments out there and you've just got to brush past it. What I tend to do now in my videos, if someone just leaves just a swear word or something, I tend to delete the comment and just forget about it. But actually, some of the more creative insults, you just find the humour in them. So I thoroughly recommend, if you're watching through my videos, go and have a look at the comment section because there are some great insults on there which are absolutely hilarious. So you've just got to take it on the chin a little bit. I was always told I couldn't beatbox when I first started, but I never let it get me down. I do it because I enjoy it. So what opportunities has beatboxing opened up for me? So lots is the answer. I've literally travelled the world and had opportunities to go see places I never would have been with beatboxing and singing in general. I've met some really cool people. You know, in the last couple of years, I've done gigs with Claudia Winkleman, Sue Perkins from the Great British Bake Off, Jeremy Vine, who is equally as funny as his brother, it turns out. So yeah, some great gigs. I've performed at the Tower of London, performed at the Troxy. I got to perform at the Grand Beatbox Battle, which was incredible. If you can ever get out to Switzerland to go and see that, you'll see some of the best beatboxers and loop station artists in the world come together to create one of the best events. And in fact, the videos at the moment are still coming out on Swiss Beatbox, so definitely go and check them out. The loop station battles this year have been unreal. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how some of these guys are creating these sounds, and I'm sure that'll keep me occupied for the next few months. But yeah, the last one is that I'm working with the Oxford Arts Festival, and we're composing a brand new vocal electronica piece of music. So that should be dropping in June, July sometime this year. So yeah, keep posted on my social media and YouTube when that happens. I've also started working with these guys who are Sonus, and this is the Loopar loop station microphone. So I'm going to be doing a few videos with this. And in fact, I'll post a link below to my latest video, which is Sia's chandelier using this. But this is the best entry-level loop station out there right now, in my opinion. So if you want to get involved in vocal looping and beatboxing, go get one of these. And if you look in the description, there should be a code to get £10 off as well. So if you're using the code LooperX, so LooperX. But yeah, I'll post all that information in the description below. So I saved the most popular question for last, and that is beatboxing my full-time job? And the answer is no. This is something I do because I enjoy it. But just because I don't do it full-time, that shouldn't be the measure of success. You you should do something like this because you enjoy it, not because you want it to be a career. If that ends up happening for you, or if that is something that you are dead set on, then great. But for me, it's always just been a release from what I do, from my work. I very much enjoy my job. I work as a software engineer in London, and I treat beatboxing as a release, an escape from that, something different. And that's how I've always wanted it to be. Don't get me wrong, if Sony Records came knocking tomorrow and offering me a kind of $500,000 contract to work for them for the next 3 years, I would be gone in a second. But the reality is that there's very few musicians that make it to that kind of level. Working as a full-time musician, especially in a city like London, it's very hard work. I think there's a lot of musicians that get a very bad rep for this ideal that musicians are somehow lazy because they don't get up until 10 in the morning. But the reality is it's usually because they're working until 2, 3 o'clock at night. To be a working musician and beatboxer, especially something as niche as beatboxing, requires a lot of hard work. You have to put in the hours. You have to go out and make sure that if you're, say, at the Fringe Festival, make sure you're flying for that show. It takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication. Not that I'm trying to put people off. If you really want to pursue being a musician as a full-time, brilliant. I think we need more people with that kind of drive and less kind of focusing on what you should and shouldn't be doing. But I'm probably not the right person to give advice about that. It's never been something that I've ever tried to do full-time. But if you are interested, please do get in touch, and I will try and put you in touch with someone who does do music full-time, and they will be a much better person to give advice than me. But, as I said, do beatboxing because you enjoy it, not because you want it to be a career. That's just my opinion. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll leave my contact details in the description below if you want to ask more questions. I might even do another video if this turns out to be quite popular. Don't forget to check out Sonus and the new Lupar microphone. Discount code in the description below. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. There'll be a couple more videos coming out soon, I hope. But apart from that, enjoy beatboxing.